Are you ready, Bree?
Yep, anytime.
We're there.
All right. Roll call, please.
Gehring?
Yes.
Sorry?
Yes.
Jaden?
Yes.
Elizabeth?
Yes.
Charles
Present.
Wilner?
Okay, minutes of April 2nd meeting.
Moved, accept.
Second.
All in favor?
All, yep. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All against? Vouchers.
Motion approved.
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Sorry?
Yes.
Jaden?
Yes.
Elizabeth Wilner?
Yes.
Charlie Wilner?
Yes.
Gehring?
Yes.
Okay, public input. Welcome.
Hello, Cheryl Gehring here, just letting you know, maybe this is already known, but I do a lot of walking, and notice there's vandalism at Lions Park. I noticed it within the last week. There's
Okay.
tagging on, and I sent pictures to Charlie so he can forward it to who needs to address it. Tagging on the restrooms, on the electric box, on the garbage can, on some of the benches, and one of the plaques removed from a bench, and so it's broken now.
Okay.
So I just wanted to make sure that appropriate people address that, and also maybe some precautionary steps be taken in the future.
Is that the only place that you've seen it, is right there? I mean, that's enough.
Within the last,
But, I mean,
right, within the last week, that's all I've noticed.
last week.
So-
All right, well, thank you very much. Yeah, we'll make sure to get the appropriate people on that and get it taken care of.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate you mentioning it very much.
You bet.
And,
What kind of tagging?
Charlie has the pictures, it's symbols that I don't recognize. I don't know if law enforcement would recognize them. I don't know if they're just initials of individuals, but they're, it's graffiti that I
We
don't.
documented it last summer. It's
Okay.
been there for a while.
It's
All right.
not new?
No. Unless there's been more that's been added recently, but
okay. And what, do you know about
That's kinda
the
neat.
date, the time frame that you saw this, or?
I've got it
Okay, all right.
documented
That's too
very
new.
well.
Okay, thank you very
That's
much.
also on this city park as well.
That's new.
Yeah,
I think
It's
it's
Pretty bad.
This is
It's
old.
worse at the city park than it is at the
Yeah.
Lions Park.
But
so
these are new.
whoever
Upgraded.
targeted the parks. Okay,
And it should be removed then by the city, because
Absolutely.
there's no need for it to be there.
absolutely. No, thank you very much, and we'll make sure to get it handled. Thank you very much. Okay, anybody? Okay. All right, variance, Gary.
Motion to go on the Board of Adjustment.
Second.
Discussion?
Aye.
details, come on,
right.
details.
Looks like you're wanting to put up a
Got that, Lisa.
porch, a front porch or something?
No, it'd be addition south of the house.
Okay,
The porch should be removed.
I have a blueprint.
And a picture, but it's behind you.
Okay, so is there some variances needed for offset, or,
1 foot,
okay?
24-foot setback instead of a 25-foot.
And that's approaching what land? Which property?
That would be
Street.
The sidewalk, yeah. It's actually only,
Oh.
it's only 6 inches, but I just made it a foot.
Okay.
Just in case.
Okay, smart.
And I can't move the whole thing south because the way the pitch of the roof is in an add-on, I can't go any farther west than what I am.
Sure.
And I originally was gonna go 26 feet, and it's quite a increase in the percent for the floor joists and the rafters for an extra 2 feet. So we already shorted it down to 24,
Uh-huh.
making the 2 bedrooms that would be side to side,
Yep.
a little over 11 feet. And
Okay.
hate to go much smaller than that for those 2 bedrooms for the boys.
The Planning and Zoning Committee met earlier this evening and approved it.
Okay,
So, recommendation that the council approves it.
okay. Is there any questions?
Fine with
or
that.
Any further questions regarding this? Okay. All right, then we need a motion.
You need
You need to ask them.
Oh, yes, I got questions asked, that's right. You told me this once.
I did.
Okay. All right. Denial of the variance would result in hardship to the property owner due to physical characteristics of the site. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
He don't answer, we answer.
Well, he can answer too. Okay.
Yes.
We're good? Okay. The conditions upon which an application for the variance is based are unique to the property for which the variance is sought.
Yes.
The petition for the variance is not based exclusively upon the desire to increase the value or income potential of the property.
Yes.
The granting of the variance will not be determined to the public welfare in which the property is located.
Yes. Detrimental.
Detrimental, I'm sorry.
No.
I'll
Not be detrimental.
raise my bifocals.
Double negative.
Detrimental, yep,
It will not be detrimental.
it will not be.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay,
So,
hey.
One more.
The proposed variance will not jeopardize the intent and general and specific purpose of the variance ordinance and, so, the ordinance, we'll just quit right there. Purpose variance will not jeopardize the intent and general and specific purpose of the variance ordinance.
It will not.
Okay?
Correct.
And I read them all.
No, I need to.
I make a motion to approve the variance.
Second.
Okay. So we don't have to drill Gary? Wow.
6 inches.
Well, that'll be a nice little addition for you.
You know, I guess when I drew up the plans, I knew I was set back farther than the front of the house was now, so I didn't even think of it until I applied for the building permit, and then I saw there it said 25 feet, so I went out and measured, and
Yep.
24.4.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then I have pictures, but if you look down the front of our house, at some point it must have been 20 feet, because the next 3 houses are
Yep.
all like in a straight line,
Yeah.
you know, right at that 20 feet, so.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you asking before you build instead of asking for forgiveness after, so appreciate that. So it's the way it's supposed to be done. All right, do I need to get out of the board adjustment then?
Need to
I
call
need to call
roll.
roll.
Roll, please.
Jaden?
Yes.
Elizabeth Waltner?
Yes.
Charlie Waltner?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Now somebody needs to.
Motion
No.
to reconvene as city council.
Second.
All right. That was a new one for me.
Thank you.
And so is this one. Official canvas of the election. So we all have the sheet in front of us here. I'd like to thank you, everybody that ran, win or lose. Appreciate you guys running, because without the council, without a city council, the city would would definitely struggle. So we appreciate your time guys, putting it in. So, any questions or,
I need a motion.
okay?
Motion to approve the canvas.
Second. Anyone else wants anything?
And do I sign one here?
I'll have everybody sign it at the end here.
Okay, all right.
Elizabeth Waltner?
Yes.
Charlie Waltner?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Jaden?
Yes.
You were on it, so you can't vote. Sorry.
Was rigged.
Oh, here we go. All right. All right, so Beta, we brought it up last meeting, that Beta, the meeting Charlie Waltner, Elizabeth, and myself attended. They kind of went through their plans for the building across the street, and they got a grant, but it went up quite a bit in the last 2 years, as you can all expect. And they asked us if we could give them another $34,000. So at that time, we asked, well, who all uses Beta, Brookings Area Transit, and came up with a short list, and there's a whole lot more people. I understand that. I did do some calling around, and for people just to hand over money without talking to, without a meeting is kind of hard. The Lions meet tomorrow, so I did, at 5 o'clock. I told them that I could certainly be at that meeting if they would like, and that's their board meeting before they go in, so, to see see if there's anything that they could help with this. I did talk to Lori Euchre, and she's the president of the board, the hospital board, and they meet on the 25th. So that'll be, she'll bring it up, and I think she was going to coordinate that with Courtney too. She said she would give her a call. And in around Freeman, I mean, a lot of people use them, but those are the hospital is probably the biggest one, I think, is what we discussed. So then I talked to Shane Vetch with Modern Woodman, if there's any funding available, any matching funds and this and that, and he did get back to me today that there is a $2,500 match. So let's say, for example, if an organization would do a fundraiser of sort, they raise $2,500, then that would be a $5,000 donation, okay? They'd have to make sure that it was a nonprofit, and it's a 501c, you said, or something like that?
501(c)(3).
Yeah, so,
It has to be a new qualifying event.
say that again, Charlie.
It has to be a new qualifying event. I mean, it's not that they,
Right.
it has to be a new event, a
Right, yep.
fundraising event for
Exactly.
this purpose.
For this purpose, correct, yep. And Donna from the Lions, she had mentioned too, they go to Yankton, they go to Sioux Falls, they, take them all different other places, and just asked, what about a mailer or something like that we can ask for? Essentially, they're clients of another clinic there or something, so I guess that wouldn't be a bad idea. We talked to Anna regarding that, I guess. And so as far as me coming back and say, hey, I raised $34,000, I can't tell you that. What I can tell you is the Lions are meeting tomorrow. The hospital will meet on the 25th, and I did talk to someone with the Todd Graber with the Growth Foundation, and he was going to ask about that, but I think we'll probably have to go to a meeting or something regarding that. And I wasn't asking for the whole thing, $5,000 if, 5,000 here, 5,000 there, we would eventually get there and it'd make our contribution a lot less. So I know they're wanting a commitment from us, and we talked about this, that the fundraising after a commitment might not go as well, but I think the people that I talked to definitely will come forward with something, so. Input?
I've been thinking about it, again, it's definitely needed in town, okay? We gave them land, and we are tearing down the building that it's sitting on.
Yep, and the trees.
We agreed, and the trees,
Yep.
we agreed with that right off the get-go. I wish they'd come because, and I ain't gonna stand in the way, but I'm gonna tell you my feelings. $34,000. If the city has to give $34,000, because all the other funding's not there, that's $34,000 worth of tax dollars that they can pull out 2 days after that building's built because they don't have enough customers, not making enough money. They get to sell that building at assessed value to whoever. We don't have first right of refusal, we don't get our $34,000 back, that's my concern. They may be here another 20 years, but they've already made rumblings in the past of Freeman not making enough money for them. So, I'm not gonna stand in the way, but $34,000 all of a sudden gone would not sit well with me.
I definitely understand your concern there, and they did go from, they did mention.
I understand they increased,
Yeah,
but did they increase enough to want to keep it going? Do they charge enough? And they may be here another 10 years. What I'm saying is, okay, if you got 600 people riding it in a year's time and they're all paying $5, that's fine. And you go the next year to 700 and it's $5, that's fine too.
Right.
Is that enough? Is that gonna make, because they already said once that they, we ain't doing it, we ain't pulling our own weight down here. You can't go too high because then people won't ride it, right?
How did you guys understand that? I mean, they get compensated,
Yeah.
They get Medicare funding.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't have a sense that they were complaining about.
Sure they were.
We just didn't hear it.
Sure
But,
they were.
yeah,
They ain't complaining about the number of people riding, they're complaining that it's not making enough money, and they might not care.
okay, they did also kick in another 60,000 of their own, on top of this.
Well, that's fine, they get to sell the building and get the $60,000 back.
Yeah, no, I totally understand, and that's a good point to bring back.
If they were here and they said, yeah, well, if we have to pull out and we have to sell the building at assessed value, you'll get your $34,000. You won't get your in-kind for the land, you won't get your in-kind for the tearing down the trees and the building. We agreed to that right off the bat.
Right, yeah. And we do give them the $10,000 at this point a year, too.
A year.
Yeah,
Which we don't know if that's gonna increase, because Charlie pointed out last meeting that
Right.
all of a sudden now they got their own water, they got their own sewer, they got their own
Yeah.
electricity.
Yeah,
And insurance,
yeah.
and everything else,
And heat, yeah.
everything else that goes with it.
And that's beside the point. If they ask for more money, that time will come and we'll have to discuss it then. And I'm not gonna stand in the way. What I'm saying is that we're going out on a limb.
Yep.
Freeman, please.
Yeah, I definitely understand. I do. I don't know what to say, because you don't have that crystal ball.
Well, I understand.
But what we're trying to do, I guess, is take as little money from the city, obviously, by having some of the people that are facilities that are using them to kick in.
I know what we're trying to do. I'm just saying there's a risk of it.
Yep.
I said last time that that'd be great. If we have to backstop, we have to backstop it. I just hope that the funding comes through so that the tax dollars ain't funding it 100%.
And for what I do know, and we don't know how much it's going to be either, but the grant application was submitted for the Community Foundation grant. They did apply for that.
Well, yeah, and I don't care if they raise $20,000, the city has to kick in 14. It shows some skin in the game's fine. But like I say, I just don't want them to pull out and we're stuck with $34,000 that we'll never see again. Or we have to pay $34,000 twice to buy the building back.
And I don't know, that first right of refusal is a game changer there or not,
Shouldn't be.
Yeah,
I mean, it should be totally us to be able to buy first. If we want.
I mean, they were open to coming and answering questions or coming and presenting to us.
But they need an answer now, I suppose, right?
Well, always
commitment.
as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Everything's always as soon as possible.
Yeah, what they're struggling with is contractors. They just want to,
Get it out for bids.
they want to get it out for
I guess we'll
bids.
just have to commit with it. I just expressed how I feel
Well,
about it, so.
this is my suggestion, yea or nay, is that City of Freeman would make the commitment for $34,000 contingent on kickback from any funds raised for this project. So.
Is that gonna I mean, if they gotta advertise, that's not gonna cut it, is it? I mean, they're gonna have to know the city, if nobody else raises a penny, the city's still gonna kick in $34,000.
Well, I shouldn't say contingent. I said, should just put it that the city does get reimbursed for any fundraising efforts.
Right.
But not, I guess contingent would be, saying if we don't, then we are going to pull out. So they need a commitment from us. So if we state it as.
Well, any fundraising efforts will be subtracted off. I mean, if they got like Modern Woodman probably would have to give them the money. The
Correct.
Foundation would have to give them the money.
Yep.
But that would be subtracted off our $34,000. We're backstopping, basically.
Yep.
I feel like they were open to that.
Yeah, I asked that.
Like, we just need to know that it's coming from somebody somewhere.
I asked that
at some
question,
point.
that if, that will be subtracted, and they said absolutely.
But they don't need the check. like now.
So they just want a commitment so they can advertise for bid.
Correct.
Right.
So following down the same path, what happens if it doesn't, what happens if it costs more than they anticipate?
You know, that's, then they would have the right to refusal, I guess.
Yeah.
'Cause I think
mean,
they
they're-
added-
They're asking for 34,000 now and they haven't let bids.
Well,
It could be 54.
well, what they did,
Saying,
well, then, you know,
Based it off of a recent project
we're-
that's
we're-
being built right now, but
a bigger one.
could still be
yeah.
more.
They're basing it off a larger one that's being built right now in Del Rapids, I believe. And this one's, it's smaller, but not by a lot.
Not very
And
much.
if you look at the blueprints, I don't know if they're in there or not, but there is nothing they can, I mean, it's bare bones already. It really is, and I
They were in the
can't,
last meeting we had them.
yeah. So, not much you can take off of there.
Where does the city sit financially right now?
It would come out of the promoting the city.
Promoting Freeman. Here's a financial statement if you want to look at it. No, I guess
It's three,
You don't have a financial.
that's it.
we don't, yeah, we don't have one on there. It's 300.
Because it's nothing that you budgeted for this year.
Right?
No.
No, this came out of the blue.
And do you have any other projects that are coming up that you're gonna need financial money for to take care of outside of that? It's like your sewer lining or anything?
It won't come out.
It won't come out of that.
Self-sufficient fund.
I'm talking, this money isn't gonna come out right away, it's gonna be next year's
Right,
money.
but it'll be, that promoting Freeman, remember that promoting Freeman?
Oh,
Where
yeah.
they come in,
They're
people
300
can come in and get loans or whatever,
Yep,
you know?
yep,
There was like
We got 300 some
300 and some thousand in there.
yep, because we started putting the bar.
Right, but I mean, we don't want to drain that, well, 150 of it's for softball. field,
Right,
If they ever
right,
figure that out.
if they ever do that, yep, that's,
Already been committed.
that's committed, but, so no, in our hopes that we, you know, that this 34 would only be maybe 10 or 9 or whatever.
Right, I understand what
Yeah.
you're trying to do with getting others to pitch in and help out,
Yep,
but I was just wondering where it's coming from.
Yep.
And if it's
No,
gonna
that's a good-
impact-
great question.
Impact any other progress. in
It
the
should.
city.
it should not, no, because the sewer lining, that was set aside last year, I believe, or the year before.
And the year before that.
Yeah.
before that.
Well, that's all self-sufficient.
Well, we had it all lined up a
We're-
couple of years ago,
Self-sufficient,
and
you
then
know, sewer and water is on their
went
own.
away, so.
Yeah, so
Hasn't
we're,
been happening.
No, and it probably won't, we can't find anybody to
we
do it.
can't find no one to do it.
It'd be done,
So we pushed them off too much.
no,
No.
they
no.
quit.
I know.
And they won't come into a small town to do it, there ain't enough business.
Well, you can't
Unless we get a whole bunch of towns together.
together do it, yeah. Piggyback.
I think you were here on when that first started, weren't you?
I was on here when we had it lined up to be done, and then it got pushed off because of other issues, other things happening.
Yep. And it hasn't been done since.
Money to be placed elsewhere, so.
So, but anyway, that's, yeah, great question, but that's where we stand, so if you're comfortable with that, then I guess a motion would be made accordingly. Crickets.
So moved.
Do you expect me to make a motion after my spiel? You're lucky you're gonna get a yes.
Make a motion that we
Charlie Waltner.
Commit
commit
34,000
30,000
with any other fundraiser efforts deducted from this amount,
from that amount.
Needed, yes.
if needed.
Okay, need a second? Can I second?
Second.
Okay.
Yeah, you could have.
Okay.
Yeah, you can vote.
Did you hear
get to vote
Lisa?
twice if it's a tie.
Charlie Waltner,
Yes.
Garing,
Yes.
Sorry,
Yes.
Jaden,
Yes.
Elizabeth Waltner.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I'm sure they'll be happy to, because I know they've been wanting to get the bids going on that, so. And I'll keep making the calls and doing my efforts for fundraising on that. All right, and other business, Charlie?
She already talked about it.
Okay. Lonnie?
Nothing offhand right now.
Okay. Elizabeth?
We're gonna talk about that?
Community center?
Yeah.
I don't know that we've put enough stuff together. I haven't seen, we did meet, discuss some of the issues at the community center and trying to figure out scheduling and things.
Okay.
We talked with Lisa and Becca both, but we're gonna get some more put together to look at first.
He's putting things together.
Yeah, that's why I didn't see it on the agenda, and I figured we were just gonna wait till we have more together to bring.
Okay.
Then we'll be open to input.
You're
About
getting
that.
some ideas, though.
Right.
Okay.
We want to present something that we can start to build off of,
Yeah,
rather than try to
yeah.
construct it here.
Try it and then tweak it from there.
Yep.
Yep, okay. Dewey?
Biggest thing I would have is if Lisa can put in the paper and get some pumps out of the sewer. We are starting to increase a lot of flow coming in again.
Just a little rain and right away it's filling up.
There's a lot that got some pumps running in the sewer. It's time to take them out and put them on the ground.
Sure. And what does that do to the sewer? I mean, that the water, the
We
water's
just
going
get
out
a
there?
lot of water, we pump more, we put more power in it, and we gotta treat more.
Okay,
We went from 200 to 800 gallons of water coming in. So there's a lot of sump pumps running right now.
wow.
We hope it's some pumps.
That's, I went around the sewers, it's pretty much sump pumps.
Wow. Okay, well, we'll get that notice in.
And the truck that we're gonna take to sanitation, they will not do the cylinder, so I gotta find somebody else to take the truck and get the cylinder off, get the seals fixed.
Something northern.
Northern, I was gonna talk to Dave about this guy out in 18,
18 or 42.
42, excuse me.
Which,
On the top of the hill on the east
Yeah,
side.
he does a lot of Gillis's trucks. See if,
okay,
See what he said?
started working on the parks, we got most of them done. I'm gonna get the bathhouses all ready to go once we get by this little cold spell. Gonna open them all
I
up.
saw there was, is that why they had, like rental porta potties by the baseball field? Or the
Yeah,
small?
that's for the softballs and high school
So
softball.
they are not open there yet, okay.
I would say that's gonna come pretty quick.
We don't open those anyway, do we?
No, we just turn the water on.
Okay. I was just wondering if there was something wrong. Okay, then I have all the pictures and everything that we'll talk about and the repairs.
Let us know a while so we can take this building down the right way instead of a backhoe.
Okay,
This building here.
It's too good of a building to
yep,
take a backhoe down and destroy it.
yep. Yeah, it can
Man,
be-
we should probably get it in the schedule at any time now.
I would guess so, yeah.
I mean,
somewhere you guys gotta look
Tear it down
at.
so we can keep it,
Yep,
then we'll tear it down. If it don't ever come to fruition of a new parking bus yard, then we'll have a building where we actually want it instead of
And can use
across
it.
the street.
Absolutely.
very good. The tin's all good on there. It's inside, outside.
Yeah, the wood structure in there, that building is built.
But that's something you gotta look at is building ourselves a building. This is our second one getting taken down that we're storing into a rented place.
Well, you're gonna get this back. They'll be.
Parts of it. More for our heated, so our stuff that needs heated. All the other stuff kinda sat in these cold storage sheds.
Is the go-kart still in this building?
The what?
You want it?
Go-kart still in this building?
That's coming out of there.
Go bye-bye?
And there, yeah, you talked about the building, which definitely is needed, and then the crushing of the concrete out there. We met with 2 people last year, or 2 years ago.
Yep, there's 2.
So, and I know that it would make it sense to do it all at once, but I don't know if that's gonna be in the budget with doing everything, so.
The one guy talked about doing it in payments, so much a year. The other guy never did talk to him about that. I don't know
Yeah.
how that.
You'd be willing to crush it and spread it out over?
Yeah, the second guy was,
Yeah, that's this one here, and he just kinda shot us a number, and it's substantial, so I was just,
That's
if
not
we're
cheap.
talking about doing the road to the new Quonsets and stuff, you wanna do it right the first time so you don't go back the second time.
right, I'm just wondering, can we get it in, budget it for next year, or, so we can get them booked for doing half, or, if we can find anybody to do it?
Maybe you can set it up so that it's done in the fall or early winter, and then
Pay them in, yeah, I get it, I know exactly, I know exactly what you're saying.
25 and 26?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, so that'll be something that we definitely we'll have to get on the budget for, so, you know, I'll try to remind you
You're
about
gonna
that.
need to plan this out. This is not a minor little
Right.
thing. This is something that's gonna require some thought and some planning and follow through.
Yeah, and then where do you put it? You know, do you just leave it?
You just put her out there. It's,
Pile it.
It stays there.
It just, okay, all right.
the stuff, the last 2 times we give away, it was bad concrete. This is the best concrete you're ever gonna
Oh,
have.
this will be, yeah,
2/3 of the clay's gone and all our black dirt's gone, so you got plenty of room.
yeah. Yep.
Because our first piles that Jimmy got and I think Mettler's cut up, that had a lot of dirt, and this is clean with
Yeah.
very little
Yeah,
dirt
that-
in it.
Yeah, that Scott said that this was,
Which most of them say you want a little dirt to put a binder in there, but there's just about right amount for all of that.
you know, that's on the other, there, and there's that other pile that the asphalt and stuff, they said that they.
Yeah,
is even
you got
better.
3 piles,
Yeah.
2 concrete and 1 asphalt, and that asphalt's just as expensive as that concrete, if not more.
Yeah,
You mean to buy?
Yeah.
and to crush, he said it.
Crushes
it
harder.
crushed
probably.
harder, yeah, or-
Probably not as.
You got the
soft.
red rock in there,
Yeah.
makes it crush harder. The granite rock. But when you got it, you got oil in there, and it's a pretty good material.
Packs really, really well.
Better than gravel.
Yeah, and there's a pretty good amount of that too. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. Okay, is that it?
Yeah.
All right, well
Oh, I
then,
just remembered something.
okay, back to Charlie.
Not this Friday, but the following Friday, we're having Arbor Day celebration, or we'll be planting a tree in the park again.
Okay.
Both schools are, second graders are invited, so. If anybody wants to come to watch us plant a tree, 2:30 on Friday,
Which part?
wow, swimming pool park,
26th?
26th, I was looking for the date.
Okay.
So we'll need the mayor to read the proclamation.
Yep. I did that once, that's. He won them suits like they have for the Groundhog Day, you know?
About as long as it goes.
Yep. All right, well, I think Charlie's got some pictures up there. If you probably noticed, the cement actually out front here is actually running. And if you can get it on that screen too, then,
Yeah, I will. I'll
Okay.
switch to it. All right, I got the right one.
okay. So this one here was a pretty substantial crack. They chipped it out. And this is by the AMPI. And I tell you, we have some great engineers. Cole was down working with them, and they were gonna pour that. And Cole said, no, you know, and if there's another picture of when we came back to
At the
that,
end?
that's the last one.
I think.
And, yep,
Went too far.
nope, that's okay. My water meter was in there.
No, I don't have that on there.
And anyway, he made him cut it.
There you go.
Yep. And to me, that looks like that will be a much better repair. You know, so our engineers were very good on this project. And if you want to go back to the beginning and then come down, and I can explain to you what they did. And out front here in the city hall, when I came up, I could actually see water running the correct way. It was actually not pooling there, so they did a good job. So this is a 2-part epoxy, and this is, if they got a delamination or a big chip or something, there's a certain requirement on a crack. It was a 2/10. 2/10. If it was more than 2/10, then it had to be cut out. If it was 2/10 or 9/10, you know, or whatever, it was under that, it would then use this here product, and they just fill it up, and that's their repair. So if you see that, that's how they repaired it. you know, it is supposed to be okay. Well, you know, time will tell, but it's not a real thick repair, so it is DOT approved, and this is the way they do it. Okay, next picture. Okay, again, this is on Railway, and that long crack, what they do is take a saw, and they saw it down, the crack, and then they go back, and then they fill that crack with either a silicone product or that two-part epoxy, depending on the application needed there, and I don't know what that is. And the next one, again, same thing. They went around and marked whatever they could, and I think they did pretty good hitting them all. We pointed out a few when we were walking around town, and another one, they put the cap on there. There was no water cover on there. And
An open hole?
Yeah. Isn't that right, Dewey?
Yep.
Yeah, it was an open hole, so never noticed that, I guess. So they got that taken care of.
Yeah, it's on,
And the next one?
north side of the roast.
All right, and that's just by an expansion joint. Again, you know, this is, when you guys are walking around and looking at that, they do not look really good, but, you know, it's in where they're supposed to be, and it expands and it contracts, so it's supposed to hold in there.
And it seals it from moisture.
It keeps the water from going into
That's the
it.
bigger thing.
So the water doesn't go underneath the concrete and swell and freeze and wash away the under, yep. Same thing. And this probably was the biggest improvement outside of out front here. They actually had, that drain was too high. And so they had to chip it away and lower the drain, what do you say, 2 inches?
2 inches.
Yeah, 2 inches, and then report it. So if you drive by there now, you'll see that it is actually draining before it ran around it. Okay, so they got that fixed. Sidewalks, they took care of them. And, okay, so then this here is one that kind of looks kind of big, and if you go to the next one, I think it is that's okay. Again.
Go back.
No, that's fine. It's just, it was just showing the size of the repair that they're doing without the repair in it. Yeah, there you go. He's measuring it. So, and if it needed the backer rod, they would put that in, of course, but these here were just filled. Okay? No, that's fine. That was just a close-up of it. And essentially, they went around and took care of everything that they saw and felt that needed attention.
What's the story on resealing the rocks?
Okay, so they got an explanation of how that is done, and we can do it, but there is a little process and the chemical to use it, because there's one that you would use for salt at the end, right? You put this, and
you put that on
yep,
first.
and that'd go over painted, tinted concrete or anything. You put this over it, so it's just the way it is. And they did a core test of that rock, and he said it was phenomenal. I mean, it was just unbelievable. He said it was harder than concrete, you know, so he was very pleased with the outcome of that. And that all looked really good. We looked at, you know, as we were walking, and looked at all that, and that fared very well. But there is a place that would come down and do it, and talked with Dewey about it, and he would feel more comfortable with them coming down the first times to see how it's done correctly, and then we know where to get the product and what product to use, and then the city guys can do it. So, because it is a little process to do, you know.
It's not just spraying it on.
No.
There's 3 steps to it. You gotta put that salt stuff on, it'll help. Anyone salts it where it won't get down
Into it.
And then there's a sealer and a primer that goes on top.
Yeah, and he thought after, you know, the new aggregate sucks it in much more than if it's been there for 5-10 years. So usually the first 4 years, once a year, and then you can go every other year or just kind of go by as needed. So, but you got the name of the company, or if not, we can get a hold of Cole. And and we'll just find time to do that.
Yeah,
And-
Salt will definitely be its biggest enemy.
Yep. Yeah, but all in all, looked really good. Cole was very pleased, and yeah, he did a very good job making sure things got done, and tried to take care of any issues right away. So, any questions regarding that?
They had two other areas that we didn't take a picture by Merchant State and by.
Oh, yeah.
Geo's.
Yep, that's right.
2 hunks of sidewalk.
Yeah.
Anything on the people coming back to look at the signs, so I don't live on Plum and Walnut?
They were back here, they changed all the signs except for everything on Plum Street, which is supposed to be First Street, and the guy keeps telling them, and they still say it's Plum Street. So he's trying to work out the First Street on that. So the 2 blocks is Plum and Walnut, Plum and Dewalt, and Plum and Whip.
Yeah, I think I told you that I actually had a phone call asking if they needed to change their address, because the signs...
All the east and west ones are fixed. The only ones left is Plum Street.
Okay.
It's supposed to be First Street.
All right, yeah, I'm sure that messed with the UPS
We
and...
got the parts to fix the
FedEx.
Main Street one, a 50-mile-an-hour wind come by and took that out again, so.
Gotta love the wind. All right. Jay, you got anything?
No.
No, good. Okay, any other business, guys? Okay, next meeting will be Tuesday, May 7th, 2024 at 6:30. And need a motion to go into executive regarding some...
Personnel.
Excuse me, executive for personnel
Move to go into executive session.
for the pool.
Personnel.
Second.
Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Yeah, thank you, Gary.
Jay, can you make sure that you